Hello, welcome back everybody. It's that time again for another episode of Baseball Moms with your two favorite baseball moms. In case you're new to the show, we are going to introduce ourselves. I am Jenny.
And I am Tiffany.
We are glad you guys are here. Always excited to have people join us. If you haven't joined us before, welcome. If you have, welcome back. So what you might know if you are new to the show or if you're catching up and you've done a lot of episodes is we usually like to have a lot of fun. We talk about all kinds of different topics, but sometimes serious, but more so we usually talk about a lot of fun things, silly things. We like to laugh. Sometimes when we rewatch the shows, we actually laugh and we'll text each other and we're just like, okay, why did I just laugh again? Like we get a kick out of each other, which is good, right?
Yes.
But we kind of talked about that we wanted to get a little more serious this episode because we discussed the fact that we love being baseball moms. We love baseball. Right. And we love, club baseball. If we didn't, we wouldn't be a part of it as long as we have. We have our kiddos being a part of it. There are so many things that are incredible and that we love about it. Mm-hmm. And obviously you wouldn't take the time, the money, all the things that come with it if you didn't love it. But there are things that come with that are maybe not popular things, are things that are stressful, are things that we don't love about it. And if you're new to the club baseball world, or you're just looking into it and wondering if it's for you, I think that there are things you need to know and things that we don't want people to be surprised by because there is a side to it that unfortunately is stressful. And it's not so fun. One of them happens to be this time of year. I can tell you that July in baseball is my least favorite time. And Tiffany knows this. For a long time, my husband was a coach, and I think we were sheltered for a very long time from a lot of this. I didn't realize that a lot of the shenanigans that went on in the club world did because we had our same team and those same players, and we just kind of rolled with it. And so we were protected from a lot of the things that go on in the club world. And until recently, when that changed, you don't really realize that there are some things that are actually not nice and can be a little bit backstabby, I guess is a word. Sure. And it's just a little bit deceitful, I guess. So I think that we actually did this show and agreed to it to be real at times and not sugarcoat things because baseball world is like life. It's just not always rainbows, butterflies, and things aren't always just fun and awesome. I mean, there are some things that happen in life and you have to learn to deal with them. So, one thing that I found odd, and you and I discussed this, and you can give me your take on it in a second, is when we first kind of started in the baseball world, like tryouts were usually in middle of July. High school baseball is around ending towards the end of July. So like you would do tryouts, and for people that did, we didn't do a lot of that because our team stuck together for so long. We didn't deal with that. But really it was middle of July. And I am seeing more and more of clubs and teams that are holding tryouts in June, and I'm sorry, like, that's insane. That's my personal opinion. I think it's insane. High school boys are still playing. You've got numerous tournaments and usually out-of-town tournaments, and that's awkward and weird, and maybe you're not coming back. Right. Maybe you don't want to, and it's not because there's anything wrong. It's just not the right fit, and that's okay. And to have somebody say to you, we need a 48-hour commitment and a $500 down and this and that, that's silly in June. It's silly and it's uncomfortable and it's not fair to the kids that are just there to play ball and enjoy their experience. And for me personally, I don't get why we're doing that. And you got texts going out and people trying to steal players in June. And we have almost a whole nother month of playing ball. And I personally think that it's shady and one of the things I don't like. So I don't know. Tell me your thoughts on it. But those are my true personal 100%. Feelings. 100%.
I agree with you. I would hate to be a baseball coach this time of year. I think it seems to add a lot of unnecessary stress on probably the coaches, and parents and players, like you. my husband coached Cooper up until 10 or 11U, and we never had to deal with that. I mean, I honestly didn't know what July was like. I really didn't. And we've basically have been blessed that we haven't had to really deal with the July stress. So we've never had to be a part of that. But I do know that I see it on Facebook, like on those baseball sites, like all these tryouts. Or I actually saw something yesterday on one of the club pages that said, hey, just come out to our practice and we'll just see if you're a good fit. So like an unofficial tryout, but just come to our practice. And I'm like, geez, it's, I mean, but I kept going, I went back on this page, and this started at the beginning of June. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like that puts a lot of people in a bad position, and to be dishonest and not have loyalty to, I shouldn't say that, but when you're loyal to a team, I think your focus should be the team, and you should worry about the tryout stuff after.
Yeah, it causes a lot of distractions.
Sure.
And unnecessary stress that shouldn't be there while they're trying to play ball.
Yes, there should be a rule in Missouri, or like a state rule, like, no tryouts until after this date.
Right.
End of July, maybe. Maybe they should make that, let's just write to who do you write to the people that change the laws in your state? A governor? Oh, wait, you would know, you're in government. Just write to Jenny. No,
I wish I did have that authority.
Yeah,
there are
Jenny,
so many things that I would do.
If there was a baseball council of Missouri, you would be the president.
I like that. I wish I had that kind of power.
We should make that. We should make that type of job up, and we'll appoint you the president.
Let's do it.
And
you can be my co-chair, like you and I.
I don't know if I'm that good I don't know if I'd be good at that, but I'd be good at well, actually, I don't really know what I'd be good at helping you with, but if you ever needed someone to talk to or vent to, I would be good at that.
I like that.
But no, I agree with you.
To keep me on the straight and narrow.
No, you're awesome. I 100%. I mean, Jenny and I, basically, I think our baseball stuff is, we do align a lot, except when it comes to concession stand food. But on this thing, I 100% agree. It is a stressful time, especially if you have a kid that you want to move. Or can you just imagine being a coach, though, that if you're just playing games, especially maybe at older, well, I'm sure it happens just as much at the younger age too, but maybe coaches looking at your kid and talk, like one of your players, and talking to them after a game. Is that ethical?
I don't know. And it's funny because I feel like it's odd that they will have these tryouts.
Yes.
And they'll say, we got an hour and a half, and we have 3 age groups, and there's hundreds of kids, and we've got 2 people. There is no way in the world that you are looking at all these players and really effectively being able to do this. And I get it's a moneymaker. Here's the thing. I don't have a problem. Club ball should be about making money. It's fine. It's a business. No problem. But then run your business efficiently and effectively. And if people are paying for a service,
good point,
then I think you should provide the service. That's my problem as well, is that if you say to somebody that, here's the thing, it's this much, and for this amount of money, you're going to get this, and this is what we do, and so on, then stick to your word. Now, sometimes things happen, and sometimes curveballs are thrown, and so I get that too. Right. However, if you look somebody in the eye and shake a hand and stare someone in their eye when you shake their hand and tell them you're going to do something, by golly,
you better do it.
You better pretty much do that. And if for some reason you cannot do that, my thoughts are that if you can't follow through on what you said you would do, then you should be communicating that step by step, why it's not going to happen, what has happened, and why that is. Because it is a business.
Yes.
And I know in my business, if I don't do my job, or I have deadlines, and I don't follow through on something I've been told to do, then I have to explain to somebody why that didn't happen. So if I'm paying you for a service and you didn't follow through on me as the customer, what I provided you, you should be telling me why that didn't happen. And that's my problem. And I will tell you, as a parent, if you're looking into clubs, here are some red flags to look out for. I mean,
Oh,
if we're going to
shoot,
throw it
no.
out here,
Yes,
I'm
let's
going
do
to throw
it.
this out for you. I'm not going to hold back this episode. I'm going to
Are
be
you going to
honest.
say, you're not going to mention any clubs, are you?
No.
Good.
I
Well,
will not.
No.
Things that I want people to look for in them is if you belong to a club or if you are sitting next to a club and you're not sure if you want to try out for that club, if that club is not supporting that club that's playing, if they are not rooting for that team and they're wearing that attire but they're with the other team or they're chatting, that's a red flag. That's odd to me. If they have multiple teams that are on fields and they never walk around to any other teams that are wearing that jersey to give a fist bump or a high five
Good point.
and say good job, that's a red flag to me because those players all paid money.
Right.
They all represent your organization, and every one of those players is just as important as the next one.
Yes.
And if you're claiming to be a mentor and a youth developer and develop these children, then your job should be to make sure all of them are important,
Yes. I agree.
regardless of age, what level they're at,
Yes.
because they all are paying money to pay your bills and to
Good
pay
point.
your paycheck. And they don't know any different.
Right,
And
right.
if you are there wandering, there is no reason to not tell them to go get them. A fist pump goes a long way.
Oh, sure,
And kids
sure.
see that, and they do notice it.
Sure,
And then,
absolutely.
I don't know, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I think that's great. And I was just thinking, especially if it's like, if you're in the same complex and there's an older team that can come watch one of the younger teams
Yeah.
play. I think that makes such a difference when they're connected and they can maybe develop some role models from the same
Yes,
club.
absolutely.
I think that just really makes a difference. And especially in the younger boys, the big boys are here to watch us, you know?
Yes.
I think that, you know what, I'll be honest, Jenny, I've never really thought of that before. I think that's just an amazing point. Because you're also creating a better team or program culture by doing that. So
Yes.
by supporting all the teams.
I think it should be camaraderie. And if you see those kinds of things, personally for me, it's a red flag that it's not something I want to be a part of. I want to
Sure.
be a part of something that is building the cohesiveness
Sure.
and building that team, atmosphere
Yes.
and building kids up no matter what level they are or where they're at.
Yes.
If you're not doing that, that's a problem. I
I
will
agree.
say also something that I learned about this year, and it was really sad to me as a mom, for one, as someone who's been in the club world a long time, it is really sad and hurtful to know that there are coaches, mentors, whatever you want to say, that have talked poorly about other kiddos in an organization. I think that's a red flag. And I will say that other kids talk, kids don't know, and kids repeat things, and kids say things, and it will always get back to other parents and kids. And it's a really bad look. And
Sure.
these are just all things that like I said, these are sad topics and topics that are not things that are fun to talk about, nor is it
Sure.
something that usually we love to talk about the fun stuff, but I'm going to be
Yes.
honest. Sometimes hard things are just things that you have to talk about. And they're topics that if someone is new to the show, that I want them to know that if you've been through this, that just know it happens. It's sad. You're not alone. Other people have been there. And just also know that there are a ton of clubs in this area. That's one good thing, that
Yes.
if something isn't a fit for you, there is one that is a fit for you. And that's the beauty, is find the one that, lines up with your family, with your morals, your values, with what you're searching for. Because at the end of the day, the experience is about the kids.
Right,
It should be
right.
about what you take away from
Absolutely.
it and what you remember looking back on and what you're going to take forward. It isn't about that club. It's not about the people in the club or it is about the kids. And I think sometimes the organizations forget that. I mean,
Yeah.
Not all of them. There are some
Absolutely.
amazing ones out there, and we are a part of one. I love Legacy. And so I am thankful, but there are some that are not like that, and it's very sad. And so I just think you have to be aware of that and just know.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, you're just being real, and
Yeah.
you're just giving it good advice, and it's advice that if they're not very familiar with the club world yet, or maybe they are, and maybe you've mentioned something that they haven't thought about. So I do not envy this time. Baseball coaches this time of year at all.
No.
And I feel really bad for them, to be honest. Sometimes, the real good coaches out there that are really focused on just developing good young men and good players, and focused on that rather than this. This makes the job harder.
I agree.
Yeah, and probably maybe sometimes being paranoid if you're going to lose some of your players and other people talking to them. It's just a kind of a yucky time. So July will be over soon. Well, no. Well,
we're
when
close
it's
to
over,
halfway, yeah.
when it's over, maybe everybody can take a deep breath.
We do. We always say that. We're always, July, you're like, oh gosh, it's that time of year. But
Yes, it's such a difficult time. But hey, if you find the right club and you find somebody that invests in the team and invests in your kid, and we're in a great spot where Cooper is, and we couldn't be more blessed. We have great coaches and great leaders in the program, and so when you find that right club, maybe you're blessed enough not to have to deal with that, and we sure have been the past few years. So, but the ones that have to do that, I really feel for everybody on all sides of it. So it's not easy. It's certainly not easy. It's almost like transitioning to a new job.
Yeah.
Kind of, because you're leaving something behind and starting something new, and or starting a new school,
And it's new for everyone, the kiddo, the families, it's
everybody. And you got to the moms have to bond.
Exactly.
But you're having fun with because this is Jace's first year with Legacy.
Yes, he started in the fall.
So
it's been
worked
great.
out
They
for
are,
you.
yeah,
And
they're
sounds like
a great bunch. You
seem like you
lucked
have a lot of
out.
fun
We are
with
so
them.
happy and
Good.
Yeah, it's been
good. That's awesome,
So,
Jenny. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Well,
anything else to add to
I
that?
don't think so. I think
we're good. Jenny's covered you guys.
I think we've got you. If you ever have comments, drop them below. Make sure you subscribe, and make sure if you have friends that you think would love what Tiffani and I have to share, share it with them. So that they can join along. And if you ever have questions or you have something you'd like to hear us chat about, we would love for you guys to give us some input. So
yes,
drop it below, and I guess we will chat with them next time, right?
Yes. Thank you, Game 7, and thank you, Prime Sports.
Yes.
Thank you, Jenny, for leading the way.
And thanks for Tiffani for being my sidekick.
Oh, awesome. Bye, everyone.
See ya.